Hi, it's Nikki here from Happy Hormones for Life. And signal's just gone. Hi, it's Nikki here from Happy Hormones for Life. And welcome to this Lunch and Learn on Easter Bank Holiday Monday. It's a very strange one, isn't it? Because it feels like any other day, which is why I decided to run this today, because I thought normally on a bank holiday, maybe not. But I'm sure quite a few of you are looking for stuff to do, maybe, or maybe not, or maybe just an escape. And these lunch and learns hopefully will be helpful for you. So today I am talking about list building, why it's important, and how to really start or maximize your list building in your own business. So first of all, what is it and why should we care about it? Okay, so list building is basically growing your email list. So how many people who are subscribing to your database, your emails. And it has to be one of the most important priorities in your business, because no matter how many followers you have on Facebook or people who are liking and engaging with your stuff on social media, you don't own that information. It's very transient. The algorithms are changing all the time. If Facebook went down tomorrow, those people would just be gone. So it's very, very important that you build a list that's your own, that you own. And that list is pretty much your lifeblood for your business, because that is where you're going to build relationships with potential future clients. And you're going to start off small, like everybody does, and that's absolutely fine. It takes a long time and a bit of effort to build a database. So you have to be patient with it, because you're in this for the long haul, aren't you? So you've got to, look at this is a marathon, not a sprint. If you have already got a list, I want to maybe challenge you if you're wondering if you're maximizing that list and you're creating that warm pot of future clients by keeping them really engaged. No good having a list of 10,000 people if only 10 people are opening your emails, right? So it's really, really important to create and build that relationship. If you don't have a list yet, you need to get on it as soon as possible. And this is, potentially while you're a little bit quieter, this is a great time to really focus on building that email list. So what is it and where does it sort of sit? We build our database, our email list, on a CRM, and that's a customer relationship management system. It's basically an email database that really helps you to store everything in one place and create your emails, etc. Now, that's, for most people starting out, it's something like MailChimp, because it's free up until about, I think it's 2,000 subscribers. So you can stay with MailChimp for quite a while before you maybe need to start paying. But I would suggest you pay for their basic option, which is, I think it's about $20 or £20 a month, for more options. And that now allows you to have an autoresponder campaign, which I'll talk about. The other options are things like Active Campaign that I use, because I've got a bigger list and it does more, and it sort of allows me to do more things with it. And then you may have heard of something called Infusionsoft, which is what all the guru marketers use. And it's very, very expensive. And to be honest, you'll never need that unless you're going to build a huge mega company. So start off with MailChimp. And again, it's very easy to use. It's quite intuitive. So once you're in and you've signed up to something, you need to create your list. And that's where your emails will go once you have created your opt-in, etc. So that's your main. You can create as many lists as you want, but you kind of want your main list for new people to come into, and then you can manage it from there. So how to grow your list? There are lots of different ways, and you'll see, quite a few tons of information coming at you about list building, and there's even courses on it, etc. But there are some real basic things that you can do to start building your list, or build more of your list if you already have one. The one thing I would really suggest you do is offer some kind of lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet is basically a free gift. When people land on your website, you give them something that they can swap their email for, because they're going to you need something to offer them, obviously, and you've done this 1,000 times yourself. You've signed up for some free guide or whatever. That's what draws them in. It has to be something that's really valuable, that speaks to your niche, whatever your niche is, and solves a problem for your ideal clients. So it's got to be valuable. And you can have lots of different options. You can have ebooks, you can have guides, you can have top tips, video series and audio series, magazine, checklists. Free challenge is a good one. If you're in Facebook or another platform and you want to do a free challenge, you get people to sign up for it. That's a list building activity. You can have a quiz or a free call that you're offering, or a free Facebook group. So with the Facebook groups, you can invite them to join your group, and then you can have a list. You can create questions before they join the group. Now, not everyone will give you their email, but I've got my Facebook group, and I'd say about 60 to 70% of people will leave their email. So I've just got a question on there before they join the group. I put, please enter your email address if you'd like to receive updates, offers, or tips. And like I said, 60 to 70% of people will leave their email address, and then you can pop that email address into your CRM. If you haven't got a lead magnet yet, or you just haven't got that far and it's a little bit overwhelming, you can just literally ask them to sign up to your mailing list. Now, please don't say, please subscribe to my newsletter. There's nothing more off-putting than that, and you will not get anybody signing up to that. So you need to make it a bit more sexy than that. So, sign up for weekly tips to inspire you to whatever, or sign up for my weekly dose of inspiration, or whatever it is that you want to say, but make it a bit more appealing than please subscribe to my mailing list, or my newsletter. Don't use the word newsletter. It's like so old-fashioned, and nobody wants to be bombarded with newsletters, right? So make it something that they want to download. I mean, put yourself in their shoes. What would they like to download? The next thing is to create a call to action. So on all your posts and your blogs and your videos. So that is the way you're going to ask people to download the freebie. So on the bottom of all your blogs, if this has been helpful, go to this address and then download my free guide to whatever, sorting out your gut, or whatever it is, right? So make sure you're putting that call to action on everything you're putting out there, so that people can see it over and over, because they'll miss it loads of times. And you're not hassling them or spamming them. You're just saying, look, I've got a free gift for you. Just here it is. The Facebook group, again, if you've got a free Facebook group or you'd like to create one, and obviously put that question in so you're getting their email address as well, because it's no good having a massive Facebook group if none of those people are on your email list. Because what happens to that group if it disappears, or you're not able to nurture those relationships unless you're really on top of that group. And not everybody in that group is going to see your stuff, so you can back it up with your emails, and that's what makes the difference. Other ways to grow your list, well, you could do a webinar where people have to sign up for it. So again, I've talked about that before, but in Zoom, you can do a webinar or a meeting. You can do a meeting actually without paying for the webinar function, where you can invite people to sign up for it. And then once they sign up for it, they are consenting to receive the recording, the replay from you. And then you can send further emails to them with a please unsubscribe if you don't want to hear from me kind of thing. So you're being really clear about GDPR and all of that. You can use social media to grow your list. So obviously with the call to action, download my free guide, send them over to your website all the time. So on your banners, for instance, in Facebook, on your page, etc., you can have the Learn More button where you can click on it, which goes to your website to download your free gift. And in the About sections, you want to be putting that link in everywhere you can on Facebook or social media, LinkedIn as well, and Instagram. Put it in your link tree or whatever it is you've got on LinkedIn. So make sure the link is there and people can download it if they want to. You can create some nice images in Canva, for instance, for Instagram, and with the link to your freebie in your bio. You can create Instagram. If you're on Instagram, you want to be creating Instagram stories quite regularly, and I would be doing it every few days. Download my free, because the story's only there for 24 hours, so you want to just be doing that on a regular basis. And you can use the same kind of templates, so you can mix it up a little bit. Manual inquiries, if people are emailing you and saying, hey, I'm interested, what do you do? They're emailing you, so you could just say, look, if you'd like to be added to my list, please let me know. And then you've got their consent and you can add them manually. And then, of course, you can use Facebook ads as well. You can create a little video or some copy on the ad with a nice image, and then you can link them direct to your landing page with your free gift on it. So that's another way of doing it. Again, I'd get some help with Facebook ads because it's not straightforward, and you need to kind of know what you're doing if you're going to be spending some money on that. So creating that, the opt-in for somebody, so the page where someone goes to sign up for your free gift, you can do that inside your CRM. So every customer relationship management system, MailChimp, Aweber, ActiveCampaign, they will all have tutorials on how to create your sign up page, your opt-in box, they usually call it. They're all GDPR compliant these days, and all you need to do is come up with a really good headline for your freebie, a picture or a video on the side, and then bullet points of what the benefits are of downloading this. What is it going to give the person? And obviously your big button at the bottom to say, get your copy or whatever, please, yes, please, whatever that is. You can ask for a double opt-in if you want to. So that's when you have to you're asking people to confirm their email. Now, obviously that's more GDPR friendly, but I don't usually do a double opt-in on mine because I do find it loses people. It's another step for them to take. And I don't see the need for it because I've already got, you can unsubscribe at any time on my email. So I don't do that, but obviously you can do, and it's quite good practice probably. Then you need to set up a thank you page in your CRM. So that's a really good first impression for people. Thank you for downloading my guide. And then your landing page where you're directing them. So once they're in their email, once you've sent the welcome email and they click on the button, they go to the page where your freebie is hosted. Now, this can be separate to your website. A lot of people use things like ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, Instapage. There's lots of software and websites that allow you to create landing pages, but they are they are a cost for a start. You have to pay for that. And also you can actually create pages inside your website that aren't on your menu or anything, but they're just pages that are private or not public, and you're directing them to that page. The advantage of that is that you're keeping traffic inside your own site and not sending it off to somewhere else. And that is really important for your SEO and Google traffic rankings. So, the more you can do inside your website, the better. And that's the same for online courses as well, by the way. Lots and lots of platforms out there to host your online course on. But all that's doing is sending traffic to them and increasing their SEO, right? And you're paying them for that. So oftentimes it's much better for you and much cheaper to put your online course inside your website. And there are lots of plugins. If you're on WordPress, I'm diverting a little bit, but it's important. If you're on WordPress, there's I use LearnDash, but there are other course platforms as well that you can use. And you're keeping all the traffic inside your website. So it's just increasing your own thing. And it's cheaper because you buy the plugin and you don't have to keep paying a monthly fee. That's just a thing on online courses. So don't be lured into very expensive platforms when actually it's not doing you that much good. So once you have your landing page and they've got their freebie, you want to obviously be sending them some follow-up emails. So the welcome email is lovely and warm and friendly, and how excited you are for them to have this thing, and just repeat the benefits of what they're going to get. And then after they've got their freebie, you don't want to just forget about them, right? I see a lot of people saying, oh yes, I've got a list, I gave them the free stuff, and I say, well, what are you doing? How are they engaging with you? I say, oh well, I don't send them anything. Well, don't go to all that trouble to get them on your list and then just forget about them and never send them anything, right? So it's really, really important that you follow up with a download of a free gift with some lovely emails to nurture them, to give them that know, like, and trust factor, because it may be, it may take quite a few months and sometimes years for someone to kind of really warm to your stuff and trust you enough to work with you. So this is a long time kind of nurturing relationship that you're starting to build with your email subscribers. So a really lovely welcome email, don't make it too long. And then some helpful follow-up emails. And, however many you do, it will depend on you. I do about 6 or 7 spaced out within a few days of each other, just reminding them of what they can find in the download. No selling at all, just really helpful. And then once they've gone through that particular nurturing sequence, I then just send them my weekly newsletter. So, and there's lots of other ways of doing it, but that seems to be, for me, kind of the most engaging. So you want to be really consistent. Once you've got them on your list, you want to be consistent with your content. So when they're ready to work with you, that you're the one that comes to mind. So you want to be in front of them. I mean, ideally once a week, but whatever you can do, just do it consistently. You need to probably plan your content. I've talked about this before as well, because you want to make sure that your content is really aligned with your niche and your vision. So no point giving them a freebie on, gut health, and then your content is all about something else, hormones or food or whatever. It needs to be aligned. Your weekly content needs to be, or your giveaway needs to be aligned with what you do all the time. So the weekly content needs to be fairly short and concise. No one's going to read a long newsletter from you with loads of stuff in it. So make it kind of short, concise, because they're just not going to read it, and it's going to take up way too much of your time, and you're just going to give up going, oh my God, I've got so much to do. So for me, I do my weekly video and then I make that into a blog, and that's what I send out each week with maybe one other thing. So that might be a call to action. It might be an offer I'm running, or it might be like a nice recipe or a resource that I've found. So it's just something else other than the main video. And that's all I do in there, because it's just too hard for them to go through tons of content. Don't be afraid to give away lots of stuff for free. I hear that a lot as well. I don't want to give too much away for free. It's not the same. The stuff you give away for free is not the same as working with you. It's generic, it's not personalized, and that is the difference. If you can think of that difference of content that's general and information based, you can give away as much as you like, because it's never going to be the same as working with you one-to-one. And also the more quality the information and the more useful it is, the more likely they're going to follow up with you and want to work with you, and you're going to build more trust. You want to include your personality and sometimes your personal stuff as well. So a mix of personal and professional goes down really well, because people love to see, the background. They're nosy. They want to see who you are and what you do. They don't really care about you, but they just want to see if you're a bit like them. And, so you can include things like behind the scenes, or, client stories, or your story. You must share your story at some point, and pretty regularly probably as well. You can ask for feedback from them or input into a new product or a new course. Ask their opinions and see what you get back. Ask them what their biggest pain points are. That's always a good one. And you can get a feel for their language when they answer you. So, and really just to get that engagement up. When you're sending out regular emails, you want to work really hard on that headline, because the open rate is the important number. Now, the average open rate for most emails or newsletters that go out every week is about 20% in the industry. That's fairly good. So, for every 1,000 people, you're only really reaching 200 of them. So you have to make sure that you have a really compelling headline, because that rate is going to plummet if your headline is really boring. So I've just discovered a handy website for analysing headlines. It's called Co-Schedule Headline Analyzer. And you literally put your headline in, and it kind of tells you how good it is, how compelling it is, and how likely people are going to open it. So it's really useful, because you can try different ones and come up with the right one. The more work you do, the more time you spend just kind of fiddling with your headline and making it as best as possible, the more engagement you're going to get, and more people are going to open your emails and actually read the brilliant content that you're putting out. Like I said, I do a weekly blog, and I use it to a weekly video. I use it to create the blog and the podcast, actually. So it's all about repurposing your content. So you're not constantly creating content, which can be massively overwhelming. So just one piece of content a week can be repurposed into lots of other stuff, and you can take little snippets of it and put it on social media, etc. But there's lots of different ways of doing it. But I've just found out that that's the most kind of efficient for me. That's it. I hope you found that helpful. And if you need any more help with your business, my next foundation course doesn't run till September. So if in the meantime, I am doing some one-to-one offers, strategy sessions during April and May, if you're needing help before then. do get in touch. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you all next week. Take care.